Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. Real quick before we get started, for anyone who's new to my channel, if you don't mind, please consider hitting the subscribe button and then click on the notification bell. That will let you know whenever I upload new content. I would greatly appreciate it. So for this challenge, we're going to be doing number 19, which is the bingo challenge for my little scrapbook store. I was trying to see if I could get a better picture version of it up, but this was all I could get from the website. But I'm going to go through everything and tell you exactly what our bingo is, okay? So I'm holding it up there. And we're basically going right down what would be considered the eyes, right? So I'm doing handwriting on my project, use an animal, photo, or embellishment, create a multi-font title for your project, use tags on your project, and use the color orange. So there's a little bit of orange in my little bird ephemera that I know I'm definitely going to use. But then I was like, you know what? Let's do some background coloring on the pattern paper. But first I'm going to start putting my photo together with mats, and I'm using black and white. And of course you can use layers of pattern paper if you want. It's all up, up to you. But I'm just going to go ahead and get my photo together so then that way that's ready to go once I'm done working on my background. All right. And this is my cat, Leia. She's passed away. It's been probably like 2 or 3 years now. Yeah, about 3 years since she's passed. And I haven't gotten a new cat because I can't take it. I don't like when they pass away. So I'm using her photo, and I'm using the cat's meow. And I just grabbed fonts from different collections that I have. And I think the cat is in the wood grain ephemera or thickers. And then I had a set from Altenew. And then the is part of a set from, I want to say it's American Crafts, but it's a long time ago, like a long, long time ago. And I still had it. So I was like, let's use that. So I decided I wanted to use this stencil. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the background paper so that way it's down and together. That way it's not going to move or shift on me. And whenever I use my tape runner, I always put wet glue. I know for some people, they're like, why do you do both? I do it because it gives me a few seconds to be able to move stuff around. So if I put it down and it was just too wonky, I can pick it right back up and continue on. Sorry about that. You may see me reach across and hit my phone a couple of times. I was doing this while I was doing two things at once, and I realized that every once in a while I'm hitting my phone to kind of wake it up so I can see where it's at. But we're just gonna do our layers, get everything taped and glued down. And I'm using the Vicki Boutin Storyteller collection. I have still a lot of it left. So on a lot of my projects for this crop, I've been using either Sunkissed or I've used the Storyteller because I want to use up my collections. I have a lot of collections that I get from Michelle, the scrappy bags, and I realize I don't always use them all fully. Like I'll do one or two and then I move on to something else. And this time I really wanted to get in there and start using up some of the papers. Okay, so with this, I'm going to pull out a couple of my Clarity. Hold on, let me get the brush set. Yeah, Clarity Stamps stencil brushes. And we're going to use, I think this is like the small, and it comes with 4 or 5 brushes. And I just took like the 2 smallest ones. And I put some of the gold down. I picked some of it up because I really didn't think I needed all of that I had originally put down. And then I'm just grabbing some of the orange. Well, it's actually the color from Vicki Boutin. This one is Peach Sour. But to me, it's orange. And we're just using a little bit of water. And then we're going to put the stencil brush in and then just kind of tap it. I was tapping some, and then I also kind of brush it. I just want a little bit of definition. I'm not trying to do anything that stands out very strongly, if that makes sense. I just want a little bit of texture. And then I'm going to grab the smaller one and do the same thing with the actual peach sour paint. And at first when I put it down, I was like, did I lighten it too much? And I did. So I'm just grabbing some more, putting it down, and trying to really saturate the area and not being afraid to go up on some of the pattern paper, even though part of that is going to be covered. I just want to have the two textures, and I'm trying to keep in mind, you know, I didn't put any gesso down, so I don't want to make it like super wet either. So while that dried, I figured out what I wanted to do. I laid down my photo, decided to pop it up, and I decided with my tags that I'm going to put on, I wanted one to be able to slide in and out, and my handwriting would go on the back of that particular tag. So what I did is I drew a line, and now I'm putting tape all on the outside of that line, so that way there'll be enough space for the tag to slide in. Okay. And then some of these where I know, you know, exactly where they're going to go, I'm going to go ahead and start taping some of these down. So that way they're in their position. When I go to put the actual photo down, it'll be in the right spot. Now I'm just using my pickup tool to get the backing off of the score tape. And I want to say this was quarter inch score tape. All right, a few more pieces. Here we go. And then we're going to put some glue on the back. Okay. And sorry I'm off camera there. I just had to, sometimes you need it close to you. I don't know why I did on that, but I must have forgotten for a split second that, you know, I was recording. That happens too, I swear. And then we're going to put this down. A little bit of tape and glue. And this one, I'm going to try and get it up higher. I realized too late with the score tape, it's kind of hard to lift stuff back up. That's why I use wet glue, but it had already adhered pretty quickly, but I was still able to cover up the words that were on that strip. I like the ruler with the flower and then to put the butterfly on top, but I was able to get it up there enough to be safe. And then I took another ruler from the ephemera pieces, and I'm putting it towards the bottom here on the bottom left with another sentiment strip. Also, I think from the ephemera pack. And that strip says, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." And then I've been dying to use this butterfly. It's so pretty, and it's big, so sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly where it'll work. But I was able to, you know, put it down here, and since I had the other butterfly, it tied in. And then I have the two birds, so it works. And I was thinking, you know, those are the things that would always grab her attention through the window, where the birds flying around, and then of course the butterflies stop. She would be trying to get to all the animals because she was definitely an indoor cat, my little diva. All right, so on the bird that started this with the yellow and the orange, I put a little foam circles on the back to give it some height, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other. We're just going to add some more layers. Okay. And then once I get that bird, then we're going to figure out exactly where we want to put the sentiment, which I think is going to land pretty much right there. So I'm going to grab the off first, just making sure there's no pieces that need to come out, like of the I or the H. This one is solid, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down, or put that down. On the individual letters, I am going to put a little bit of glue on each one. Normally, I would have put glue under the as well, but I didn't think about it. I didn't use any gesso, so I should be okay. If the does anything, I'll just put some glue underneath pieces of it if it starts to pull up or anything. And then with the thickers, the letters, I always put glue on the back of those, because even was it this one? No, it's another layout that I was working on. The letters kept falling off the sheet. Like, I'm trying to take letters off and they're just dropping. And when I went to go put them on the project, I was like, I'm definitely putting glue on it, because they're not sticking to the sheet in which they were sold in. So yeah, always use glue. It'll save you time, energy, and a lot of heartache. Trust me. All right, so we're just going to finish up with the meow, and then the exclamation mark. And that will be our title. And I think I write a little something on camera, but I just wrote a little note sort of to my cat, just saying, how much I miss her, and she was such a diva. Things that I would remember about her, later on, that I can, that'll make me laugh when I read this. So I'm just using a Sharpie. Let me see. I got it right next to me. Does it say on here? Yeah, this is just a Sharpie pen. I'm not sure what the size is. It's not on here, but I want to say it's one of the thin fonts. So it's either like a 0.07 or 0.05, something like that. Okay. Bear with me while I finish it out. Thankfully, this was a short tag. I cut it in half, so I didn't have a whole lot of room, and I really just don't like my handwriting. I don't. I know a lot of people say, just write on it anyway, but I'm like, I took this time to make this really pretty layout. I do not want to ruin it by putting my hands on it, like my handwriting on it, and make it look crazy. And while I'm talking to you guys, I have stuff falling, so if you hear anything, don't worry. All right. We're getting set. So now I'm going to show you, I'm going to be able to slide it back in, and then I can pull it back out. And I had on the side some of that thin gold thread. Well, I was like, let me use this for the top of my tags. Yeah, that was my ingenious idea. Yeah, it'll be perfect. I'll just do a bunch of layers and put it at the top of the tag. The one tag, mind you, is already down, so I can't really lift up. Yeah. So anyway, while I'm fussing with my tags, let me remind you guys, if you haven't done so already, go head over to Facebook and sign up for My Little Scrapbook Store. They have their main page, and then they also have a free online crop page, which you can request to join. It's free, and whenever we do these crops, you have really the whole month to get them completed, to participate in the I Did It All challenge. And there's so many different options, great challenges, and the design team works on it throughout the month too, so that way you guys can get inspiration. Okay, so we each have our own inspiration album, and you can go into the album sections and look through all that we have, either uploaded as far as videos, done a live with, or just participated ourselves and we're showing you our version of whatever challenge. Okay, I know I just had one. Probably by the time you're seeing this one, it was probably a week ago on Tuesday, and I did the ski trip challenge where it was all white, You could use a color photo, but I wind up using a black and white photo, and I love how it came out. I did a 2-page layout, and I don't normally do 2 pages, but I had to. When you see it, you'll know why. I'll make sure to have a link down or at the very end. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. I'm so proud of it. Okay, so now that everything is done with the tags, I'm pulling out some pink and main gems. And with these, there was some like a purplish color, like almost a purple black color. I think I used, yeah. And then there was some gold. And I think I even grabbed, I guess it would be considered the white one. But yeah. So what I do with my gems, if I'm using multiple colors, I do the same idea of keeping it in 3s. So I did 3 of the white, 3 of the purple, and 3 of the gold. And then in my 3 clusters, my 3 areas, I put 1 of each of those colors. So right down here next to the butterfly and the cat's meow, I put the 3. And on this one, there was no really rhyme or reason. I just wanted 3 down there, and I'm putting 1 up above the butterfly to the right and at the bottom. And I just squeeze a little bit of my art glitter glue and then put the gem right down on top of it. And I'm telling you, the art glitter glue is really strong, you guys. And if any of it squeezes out, don't worry, because it dries clear. So you're all set. And then, now that this is done, you know what time it is. My favorite thing in the world, which is splatters. A lot of times, whenever I do layouts, it just doesn't feel complete without the splatter. I don't know. It's sort of like the ending, the little cherry on top. For me, I always like to do it in colors of 3. So I have this, I think it's a Heidi Swap color. But it's more of that like purpley, it's almost like a plum color. Like it kind of goes with that dark maroony color that's in the paper. So I was like, you know what? Let's use that. We're going to use that, some gold. And I think I used, yes, white instead. And with that gold from the die cut on the background, I mean, it is so pretty. It really is. And I splatter pretty much all over. I'm not very controlled because I like the messy look of it. Even though, did you see I just dropped it? But it didn't do anything. It was perfect. And then I'm going to hit it with some of the Heidi Swap Gold. That'll be my 3rd color. And then that'll be it. But I do. Usually I'll use black and white in one color. This time I used the kind of purpley plum with the gold and white. I didn't use black. I could have, but I didn't want to be pushing it. So I left it alone. Even though, because of the fact that the plum color kind of faded back in the color, it wasn't very vibrant. I could have done black and it would have been okay. And I was just showing you again the bingo that we did. So this is fun. You know, I like bingo. I like when we do like a pick 5 or like a anything where you have to like take different elements and kind of bring it together and create your layout. I really like that kind of thing. And let me tell you, Jessica, one of our design team members who created the bingo, she really outdid herself this time. I found it to be hard. I don't know if anybody else did, but it definitely challenged me. I have been working on this layout for probably a week. I would play and then put it to the side because I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. But please check out the other designers. Hop on over to Facebook if you can and join in on all the great challenges. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Bye.